Hello. Welcome to the Chats and Chuckles show. Today, I want to review my favorite reality show, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Episode 10, Season 6, Unpaid in Full. I want to discuss one part of the episode, the infamous comeback group meeting. Lord Jesus. Now, the episode at large was a 7 out of 10, but this meeting is a 10 out of 10. It disclosed so much and answered a lot of questions. This meeting it put to rest once and for all that Marceau and Letitia Scott are bosses. They are not. No way, no ma'am. In my opinion, this is all alleged. But before I can continue, everything I say in this video is, in my opinion, is alleged and is for entertainment purposes only. I believe it is the show's intent to bring us a Melody Mogul knockoff in the way of Letitia. It's production's way of saying all of the women on the show are tycoons, well, particularly in the core 6. No, there are not. I was impressed with Kimmy and her CVS receipts, but I want the narrative to finally end that Letitia, with her 3 degrees, took a fledgling company in the red, unprofitable, and not only turned it profitable, but made it a multi-million-dollar company? Stop with the madness. She did no such thing, in my opinion. Let's walk through the top 5 reasons based on this particular part of the episode. The top 5 reasons Marceau and Letitia Scott are not bosses. Number 5, they always show up late for meetings. Always. No professional person does this. Time is valuable and it is highly respected, especially by those who are asking for a favor. Can you imagine any of your moguls just showing up late consistently all the time? They don't have enough to do that. Number 4, according to Kimmy, they received a phone call for the second meeting. No contact had been made between the last meeting and the call stating, hey, let's meet again for the second meeting. There had been no reach outs. And you mean at that time Letitia didn't confirm why the alleged email that they sent out, she and Marceau, was not responded to? Child, please. If you and Marceau sent an email, you would have inquired why no one responded to it. It's ridiculous. That's why Kimmy responded to Marceau saying, no one responded. Yeah, right. Now I want to know why, if you sent an email, shouldn't that email had not only covered all of the questions that were brought up in the last meeting, but also to reiterate the answers to those questions. And here, by the way, here's some financial projections. Here's our marketing strategy outside of y'all just using your social media to get people here, particularly Melody. And here's a tentative promotional outline for the Black Expo. This should have all been distributed after that first meeting, and particularly when the concept was met with so many questions, and it wasn't very, how do you say, people weren't thrilled. People weren't excited. They had finished their presentation, unbeknownst that it was a finished presentation. We've come to the end. And it wasn't until Martell acted a fool clapping that we even knew your presentation was over. It was whack. It was terrible. This is not the product of what a seasoned business professional would present to anyone. No one professionally moves that way. It was terrible. And you're trying to find a better adjective. You want to say something that's nice, but let's not mince words. It was terrible. It was beginner. It was juvenile. It was something that a high schooler would put together the night before the big presentation, where they know they're going to be graded on it. That's how it came off. It was very low wind, very low rent. They didn't bother to have anything written because they hadn't thought that far ahead. They thought they were going to come up to this group with recycled ideas, and somehow, some way, they would know that these were recycled ideas, and they'll say, "Hey, yes, we want to participate, and we're going to bring our followers." Melody has 500,000 followers who really pay attention and support her. Why on God's green earth would they do anything for them? Nobody would do anything for them. They don't even have the followers together that Melody has on her own. They should have come better prepared, but they didn't, because they're not true business professionals. Number 3, not being able to pay, or should I say, not wanting to pay for Melody's time. The group's time. Letitia opened the meeting with this insight. So you mean the main draw to your expo is not being compensated? No convention does this. When you see a headliner, sponsorship dollars paid for that speaker to come. No one works for free, no matter the cause. It was already telling that the Scots 1.0 knew nothing about sponsorship dollars, allegedly, and in my opinion. But since Tisha said that copying was what was already established as initiatives for the comeback group, and using them for the expo was her brainchild, she gets the smoke. Letitia's willing to pay for others, so who are these others? Hey, Canvas Beauty. Allegedly. She just didn't want to pay Mel, but she commandeered the sponsorship term, not knowing nor understanding what that term means. And then she went around and named everyone's company to say how everyone's company has benefited from the community, and so sponsorship money would be given back to the community. And she went around the table and she named everyone's business by name, but she didn't do that for Melody's companies. This is a full hater. She can't even pretend to be a businesswoman, which she likes to remind us every 12 seconds that she is a businesswoman with 3 degrees. She can't even do that because she is so jealous of the person sitting next to her. And she didn't like, no matter what anyone says, she didn't like that Melody beat her again and mentioned something that she had no clue. If you're going to put on an expo and you're going to execute, you need to know what you're executing. You need to go into it, understand what it means to put on an expo, what it means to put on a convention, what the players are, who those players are, and what those financial commitments will likely be, so that you can then decide and understand what it will take to make this a financial success. Because like Kimmy said, no one is going into the hole for the community. No one. And if you now were to get sponsorship dollars, of course you're going to use that money to offset whatever money you put out there. We're not dumb, and the reason why they think we're dumb is just baffling. And it's insulting. It's insulting to them sitting at that table, and it's insulting to the viewer. And I don't understand how Carlos doesn't look at this and say, yo, this is not happening anymore. You have a real life out in these streets that you're not discussing, but you're coming here and you're putting on this fake comeback group hidden expo, and you're not being honest about what's really happening, which is you don't have an original idea. You never have original ideas. You just take what's already done, you try to recycle it and rebrand it, rename it, and then you sit back and hope that somehow, some way, it just kind of comes together on its own. You don't really want to work. You definitely don't want to work hard, in my opinion. And it shows. It shows in the effort of even putting together this presentation that you can't even have at your own office because you don't have the room for it. There's only 2 seats in your office. So you have to rent out this office to even have this meeting, where we see that Kimmy had this whole letter from Marceau in the beginning days of the comeback group, and he's wanting to be president. Why would you want to be president? Oh my Lord Jesus. Now I know in season 1 we weren't privy as the audience to understanding all the initiatives and what they had discussed about being in this comeback group and what that meant. But obviously, there had been a lot of discussion. And because Marceau wanted to be the president, we can assume that he is the president now. He may have his mouthpiece sitting there because he wants us to believe that Tisha is a boss too. Mel's a boss. Tisha's a boss too. No, she ain't. And that's why if you notice, that's why after her dissertation, according to Kimmy asked some clarifying questions like, what was the name of our group? Because what were we before this whole Black Expo thing? We were the comeback group, right? Tisha clarified that was true, that this was not a Black Expo thing. But when she was clarifying, she was looking at Marceau. She wasn't looking at Tisha, because she knows who the real boss is. She knows Tisha ain't running nothing. Not in the home, not in the business, not nowhere. She can run those kids, because he don't want anything to do with that. But when it comes to the business and when it comes to who's in charge, it is absolutely Marceau. And Kimmy directed her questions and her statements to the boss, and that wasn't Tisha. So then she went on to clarify that it was in 2018 when they all got together. They had already been together for 2 years, because it was 2016 when they got together. Now at this time, Marceau is sitting there and he's chewing a hole through his his gums, his lips, the inside of his mouth, because he wants so badly to say something. But we're pretending that Tisha is the boss, that she's in charge. So he has to kind of just sit there and he has to kind of take it. But he's about to explode. Because he has made the decision that they're not paying anyone. We already saw that decision being made when they were at the fake groundbreaking ceremony, where they mentioned no company, no industry, no anything. They just said, hey, we're here taking pictures of a project. What project? Tell us. If it's a legitimate legal project where that has your company assigned and you are in charge, you don't have to give us the details of the bid, because all of that is public anyways. You would be able to tell us who you're working with, who hired you, who are you building for. But they didn't give us all of that information. They just said, hey, we're here for a project, and I'm going to come out here in heels and a dress with a cutout, and I'm going to take a professional picture with this cutout dress on. It's stupid. And we're tired. Number 2. Marcel says, because he couldn't hold it any longer. He's sitting there. There's an inferno building. He can't hold it anymore. So he says, anyone who wants to take money is greedy. You know what? I said that's number 2. That's number 2. Greedy. Now, the only one he's talking to in the room is Melody, because she's the only one who can rightfully charge a fee that is worth paying for. None of their fan bases outside of Melody has supported them. We don't see no T-Squad nowhere. They ain't buying her hair care product. They didn't donate to Every Child Deserves a Home. They're not buying I Nest wine. Now, I'll give that they probably bought black in the beginning because we weren't quite sure of who these people were and if their businesses were legit. We were still trying to figure that out. But we figured out pretty quickly that they ain't legit. And if you bought that $40 bottle of wine, sparkling wine, you bought a novelty. You didn't buy it again. And you're not buying it repetitiously, because there are better champagnes that are less expensive. And if I'm going to pay a $40 bottle of wine plus shipping, there are better bottles that I can buy that are at my local, wine shop. But he said that they were, and by they, Melody, would be greedy if they insisted on being paid. But they're going to be paid if they were to get, now that they know that they can get sponsorship dollars, because that had not occurred to them. Now that they got that idea from Melody, which she made them understand, you didn't even know about this. Now that they have that idea, they're saying, well, we're going to take this money, and then when you have an initiative, we'll give you something for it. And if the community wants help starting a business, well, then we're going to help them. Now, look, how much money do you think you're going to get in sponsorships? Oh, we don't know, because you never put together any projections that said we're going to tackle these sponsors at these level of sponsorships. You may have a platinum level, a gold level, a bronze level, and each level represents what they will do for a fee. That fee goes for paying for this, that, or the other. It goes for promoting this, that, or the other. And that's how you build out your packages. And then you understand that in the venue, you have so many booths, you have so many areas that you can sell, and people can come in, vendors can come in, and they can, come on. It's a whole business. And they knew nothing about it. And they didn't dare put anything in writing because they don't know what they're doing. So now Melody is getting heated because you're going to take my idea and now you're going to throw it back at me as if it's your idea when you didn't even know about this to begin with. Now you're going to commandeer it and make it a whole different term. Put, like you always do, take somebody else's stuff, rebrand it, repackage it, and then say it's yours. It's crazy that they're doing this in front of our faces. Talk about playing in our faces. Well, let me get to the number one. The number one reason why I know Marcel and Letitia are not bosses is because even though Martell walked his crazy butt in there, his narcissistic butt in there allegedly, and went up to Mel like everything was all right, like he's not trying to take her 4 babies away from her and make her pay child support, and let me get your passwords, let me know who you're dating, and I want to know. He gonna walk in there and extend his hand as if she's supposed to shake it, as if we're supposed to have a civil hello and conversation. She said, no, not today, sir. I'm not playing with you today. This man was sitting there boiling. But they, Tisha and Marcel, are such non-business people that it caused this man who was boiling from the fact that she didn't shake his hand, barely acknowledged him, didn't even look at him. It caused this mofo to say she deserves to be paid. Now what you're telling us here don't make no sense. Now it didn't make no sense to Martell. That's how blatant it is that they are not business people. We need to stop calling them bosses. We need to stop saying that Tisha has built anything. She has built nothing. She has raised those kids. That is what she has done. But she is not a boss. She is not on the same level as Melody, because even her ex-husband, who wants to destroy her, had to speak up and say, are you kidding me? What do you mean that she doesn't deserve to be paid? It was crazy. Now we're going to see next week. We're going to see this meeting continue. And we're going to get a better understanding of how this is going to end. Now, if you pay attention to social media, the social media parts of this show are far more interesting than the show itself. We have already seen some months back that there was a Black Expo, and I guess they were able to execute. And we see that Melody shows. We see that Martell is there. And according to Uncle Wanda, I'm sorry, I'm not going to call her that. According to Wanda, she and Martell made peace at the Black Expo. So we'll see what next week is going to bring. We know that we are, after this week, we are 4 episodes away from the mid-season finale. I'm wondering if that's going to be the mid-season finale, the Black Expo. It'll be interesting, but I know a few things that we need to stop being told by production, by editing, that somehow this is a power couple. They're not a power couple. It looks scamish to me, and in my opinion, it looks like if you were going to do business with these people, you better watch your purse. You better have a great attorney on speed dial, and you better have some ironclad contracts. They just do not come across as business people. This is not what strong, astute, resound business people do. This is not how they operate. So get in the comments. Tell me your thoughts. Do you agree with my top 5? Did I miss one? Should I, tell me what orders we should have done it in. Let me know. I want to hear your thoughts, and let's chat about it in the comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you will be notified when I upload. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's have chats and chuckles soon. Bye. Business people do. This is not how they operate. So get in the comments. Tell me your thoughts. Do you agree with my top 5? Did I miss one? Should I, tell me what orders we should have done it in. Let me know. I want to hear your thoughts, and let's chat about it in the comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you will be notified when I upload. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's have chats and chuckles soon. Bye.